Welcome to this module from Logic Vein, dealing with automation using playbooks. Playbooks are a powerful tool within the Logic Vein product portfolio. Logic Vein's Playbook tool is very intuitive, easy to utilize and very simple to set up. We will now go through the process and set it up. At the top of the page there is a tab labeled Playbook. Going to this tab we can now see the jobs that are already there. If you set up the jobs by name categories, you can actually do a search to find any job like OS upgrades, or job or incident. You can do different naming conventions to set up a job and categorize them. What we're going to do first is set up a simple job and then we will talk more about the others. So let's make it happen. So click Add and put in a name. And then click OK. And now you will see you have a blank screen. There is a job name at the top left. You can edit this name to change it to be whatever you would like it to be. Now look to the right of this blank screen. You will see modules. These are the current modules in the Playbook's end and that we will continually be adding new modules. We will keep them intuitive and simple to use. But let's just set up a very simple job. So I click on the device search and drag and drop over to the blank screen. I can change this name to be something like Get Devices. Make it clear and understandable of what it is and what it's going to do. Then clicking on the device selection, I can either do all devices, a static devices list, or do a search and either use the IP name, or I can go to Add Criteria. You can use different features in here to get the devices that you want. In this case I selected tags and used the devices there. For the next part I want to run some code. So I take the code module, change the name to show version. Going to the code editor you can just type any valid CLI command. Any valid CLI command can be run here, for example config t. Whatever you may need. Once you have that set up, you will need to do an email response. Do not forget to change the name to send email to indicate the job that was run. You will need to have the email so results of the job and UI can be sent to someone in your company. I can do all content and I want to see everything. There are different functions in there you can select. The next step is you want to tie the modules together. Connect device output to content. If there are any errors I want to see those also and put them in the email. As you can see I can move my screen in and out, I can move around. They can be lined up, look pretty. Everything is good to go once you have your job set up. Then you want to go up here to the top right and click the disk to save the job. Now the job has been saved and if I exit out you are going to see I have my job test show. So come back into the job. And click on the little arrow. This will do a run. You can see it is processing. Going through. It's executing, and now it's finished and an email was sent with the output of show version for these devices. Very simple job. Very easy and can be set up any way that you want. To exit back you hit the little exit button. And now you're back to the main screen, so let's look at some of the others' jobs. Let's take our remediation job here. So what happens is in compliance you have rules. And the rules do some validation. In this case I want to check that my NTP server is .254.1. If it is not it's going to fail compliance, but what we can do is at the bottom middle I can select a remediation job from the remediation playbook and I can select the job that I want to run and it will run if something fails. So if anybody fails an NTP server rule it's going to run this job. So let's go back to Playbooks and look at it. You will see the compliance violation. It runs the code. It updates my NTP server on the device, then it sends me an email stating this been accomplished and then your compliance will be satisfied. So you are in compliance with company standards. If I have an incident, what I do is I go to my incident monitors tab. I have a policy to send a Playbook. So what will happen is the trigger will send a signal to Playbooks that a link is down and immediately run at a policy. Playbooks checks that a link is down and immediately run. So if I go look at the incident job, I go to my monitors. I go to link down monitor and you can see I have a trigger set up so that if admin is down and if the index is gigabit Ethernet 1, it's going to go to send a trigger to the Playbook. And it's going to run that job. So if I go back to Playbooks, when I have an incident link down, a trigger will go to the incident module and it is going to run this job, going to run the code to a show interface that will validate if it is really down. If it is not down, then it will send an email saying there is not really a downlink happening right now. But if it does match it, is going to go run this other set of code that's going to bring the interface back. And then of course it is going to send it to an email stating that the job has corrected the issue. The nice part here is we have webhooks. Not only can you send an email, but you can send a webhook and send it to Teams, Mattermost, choice of what you utilize. Once the job completes, the incident monitor will run in about a minute and close the ticket. Now for OS updates. Let's take Aruba. I can just select my Aruba devices on here. I can upload a file. Let's just select the file, go to Aruba, and then I want it to go to SCP Flash. The job then tells it where I want the file to be uploaded and then it runs the code. It then sets up system and run the code. A little I sleep to allow the code to install, and then show version. Make sure the version matches what is expected and then send an email out. So pretty straightforward. I can do reports. Here I have a device selection. These are all my end of sales that expire, and this time I don't want any that are warnings because they may be offline, but then it'll run the report and then send it to someone at your company. Again, pretty straightforward. And the other nice part on here is if I have a job and I'm having problems running it, I can actually download the file in JSON format and send it to support@logicvein.com to get some help on why the job isn't running correctly. This has been an overview of LogicVein's playbooks. If you have any questions, you can always find information on our website logicvein.com or download the user manual that will have more information. I want to thank you for your time. Have a great day.